This funky setup here is to answer a question: would a viewer know the difference between a $30 mic and a $600 mic? And the answer is not if you don't show them. It occurred to me that I never made a video on this. You got all these mics sitting around. We've got lapel mics, we got iPhone mics, and we got shotgun mics, and we got mics ranging from $100 to $1,000, and we've got a $400 recorder over there, and a $200 one here, and a $99 one there. We can look at reviews of mics and recorders and how they compare from one to the other, but here's the thing. You don't want crappy sound, right? Well, if I compare this $90 shotgun mic made out of plastic to the $600 mic made from the sole of a tank, they're not going to compare. And I could certainly show you a $3,000 shotgun mic that would not compare to this one. It'll be built better, it'll sound better, and all that. The thing you need to pay attention to is that your sound is not crappy. In other words, it's acceptable to the viewer. Does the sound you hear right now work? Sure it does. You can hear me. It doesn't sound like I'm in a tin can, it isn't overprocessed. While I'm recording with this Stony Edge mic right here, it's about $30 and it's plugged into this little cheap Zoom H1. The trick is it's close to me, the levels are set right, they don't overpeak, they're not too low, which both cause distortion when I edit the sound later. The only time when you would feel like you're getting crappy sound out of your equipment is the equipment really is crappy, or you didn't set your mic close enough to your mouth, or you set the recording levels too high or too low. The point is you are always going to look at the next best and higher cost microphone or sound recorder, compare it to what you got, and think you need it. Instead, trying to get the mic you are using close to your mouth, the level set correctly, any weird ambient noise around you shut off, and test your sound until you feel you can get the best you can get out of the equipment you have. It is not necessary, unless you're making a short film or something, to hide the microphone, and in fact, it's totally legit. Set the microphone in front of you while you're doing episodes like this. Well, maybe not like this. The other factor to consider is cost. You could spend $1,000 on sound equipment and then spend all your time finding a budget camera for making videos less than $50. That didn't make sense, did it? Well, neither does spending $1,000 or $2,000 on a camera and lenses and looking for budget sound gear under $50. You don't buy a $200,000 high performance car and fill it with cheap grade gas so you could save a few dollars. The point is, with cameras and sound gear, spend your time learning how to get the best you can out of what you have and go make your videos instead of spending all your time figuring out what new gear you need that you can't afford. If you can't get decent video or audio quality out of the equipment you have, more than likely you're not using it properly or it's defective or cheap. The only thing you need to create good videos are a camera with a decent lens, a way to capture audio, a computer with an editing program, and good ideas that you turn into something watchable for your viewers. I didn't even include lights in that, since you can use the sun. Everything else you get is an addition to what you already have to make it a little bit better. The link for the Stony Edge mic is in the description below, and hey, don't forget to check out the Basic Filmmaker University, where I posted a 30-minute mini course on making better commercials. It's free to subscribers and viewers on this channel, so make sure you check it out before it becomes unfree. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Well, if you don't show the person who's watching the difference, then they don't know any better. So let's switch to this mic. Now we're on the NTG3 into a $400 recorder, and obviously it's night and day. But who cares? You didn't know anything was wrong until I switched between the two. And that's how gear manufacturers sell you stuff. Okay, that's not really how they sell you stuff.